All right, here we are, another week around the trash fire. Your host, Mathias, along with the boy.
John.
It's a very light news week today, or this week, I guess,
Indeed it is.
for
But I'm sure
GW.
we could just talk about random stuff.
True, true. And speaking of random stuff, even though this game has been delayed, did you see the new Zinch trailer
I
for Total
did.
Warhammer 3?
I did.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Um, it's pretty
Obviously,
hype.
you can't say anything gameplay wise, but it's got the hype cinematic.
I mean, I I've bought every DLC for this game series. I will love everything they do because this is literally just fantasy Warhammer fantasy in video game form.
Mm-hmm.
So, I it's super cool. I will say though, it is kind of not sad, but like darn, because they announced that, each have you played Total War Warhammer before?
Yeah, I played the second one because I put in my boys, the Tomb Kings, and I was like,
Oh
I
heck
guess I'm
yeah.
getting the game.
Heck yeah. That there's only gonna be one legendary lord for the chaos factions. Typically factions get two lords. Unless you're cool like Tomb Kings where you get four. But the average is new factions get two legendary lords. But Chaos is only getting one each. So confirmed Scarbrand and Kairos. We're probably gonna get like either Kugath or the new guy and Nikari for Slanesh. So just demon stuff. And I'm not mad. It's like, oh, I wish there was like another lord, like a human one or something, a mortal one or something.
Hmm.
But speaking of the Zincho, like, it's super cool, man. Like it's super cool to see Kairos just like in 3D, Um, because that is something that I love the models, but there's just something to seeing like the characters move. Like I've actually been playing Dawn of War 1 recently a bit. Just because I'm getting back into 40K hype, and yeah, just seeing a dreadnought just kind of smash some orcs, or like see the avatar of Kane, not die instantly and wreck face was pretty awesome.
And well, it's always cool to see the how they're intended to move and act in a
Right.
3D model instead of. I mean, having your imagination is always good, but it's
Of
also
course, of course.
cool to see how they intended this to be. I just laugh because I just see everyone on like a disc of Zinch and are just like crazy. I don't think they had that many, did they?
I don't think that was a thing.
I know Age of
Like,
Sigmar, they're
like,
crazy with the Zinch disc, but
right.
AOS, I don't remember. I mean, Fantasy, I don't remember anyone running one really.
No, I think only characters could have it. So yeah, like the the troops having it is new.
Disc riders, I assume is
Disc
what they're gonna be
riders.
called.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. I mean, this is my favorite Chaos God, so I'm happy to see them. All my derpy birds all over the place on the battlefield.
I actually don't even know what faction I'm gonna play. It's funny, like Cathay doesn't interest me in the way it should.
But it's new
Um,
and
but
exciting.
right, right. I don't know I don't. I actually thought to myself, it's like I was driving recently, listening to some audiobooks, and I was like, man, like nothing. Like I'm only excited for Total War 3 because it's Total War 3. Like there's no specific feature. Like when Total War 2 was announced, I'm like, heck yeah, I got to play as Lizardmen and like Tomb Kings eventually. But for this one, I'm just like, oh, like this is gonna be cool. I get to, play more Total War. I just have no specific reason why I'm excited, I guess is what I'm saying. It's like I'm just excited to be excited.
Well, I mean, it's the end of a trilogy here.
Right.
This is this will be the conclusion of Total Warhammer.
Man, the dream is if they do end times properly. Oh, that'd be so cool. Nagash, please.
Do they? I don't think they have any plans on doing end times, do they?
They haven't said anything, but I would not mind.
Well, I guess sales are just gonna have to drive it. But
Yeah,
you know, I
like
don't think
always.
end times was very popular amongst the fan for obvious reasons.
Right. But it's canon regardless. So F it if I want to see Nagash.
It'd be cool.
Give me give me Grimgore, dude. Give me like Grimgore Gordrak, Maw Crusher.
Man, I'm just watching these flamers just wreck a bunch of units.
So cool. Super, super
That's why
cool.
I love those guys.
I do wonder if they'll do like Ind and like fantasy Japan. Um they should just do it. I mean,
Sky's the limit. I mean, just
sky's the limit.
they're introducing all these little sub factions. I mean, they're making all the chaos their own thing, right? They're not
Might as
just
well, right?
they're not undivided. Well, I guess these are all just demons, not warriors of chaos. But
Oh my gosh, if they do Bellacore with a new model, holy crap, let's go.
yeah, there you go.
Because the Kairos is that's the AOS Kairos, not the old fantasy one.
I was gonna, I was gonna make a joke about it when we were talking about how everything looked in game. I was like, that's not the original Kairos.
He's way
0 out of 10.
he's way too cool for that.
That's AOS. I can't believe they're putting AOS in my fantasy.
I mean, Arkin was the first one. They did AOS Arkin or End Times Arkin.
True. But yeah, this is just more drip feed because this game isn't coming out till
Yeah, next
first
year.
quarter, or is it second quarter?
They didn't say. I think it's first quarter 2022. Again, I wouldn't mind if it was second quarter. Like I'm, you know, yeah, I would not mind if it was second quarter.
I don't mind delays if like it's truly not finished, then finish it.
Right.
But I don't expect them to get rid of all the bugs because what Total War game has not been buggy?
Right.
When you have literal thousands of little men
Yeah. And
clogging up your
demons.
CPU.
Yep. So yeah, nah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I just hope that delays were to polish everything out and not fix like all these little bugs. I mean, fix the little bugs, but if they're not major, I don't really care too much.
Right.
But yeah, that is the gaming news that I got. Um, I'm ready to move on to the Sunday preview.
Let's do it.
Which we're finally getting the rest of the AOS stuff or Stormcast, I should say.
Not all of it. Poor Stormcast. Always shafted. Never getting anything. Just kidding.
God, Stormcast never get any love. GW just really hates them.
Yeah.
Really? So what's missing?
The dragons.
Oh, but that wasn't part of the original box set, right? This is all the stuff. Well, I guess this wasn't part of the original box set either.
Yeah, this is the new units for Stormcast. And like Cruel Boys are done. I think they're releasing. Oh, we'll see about they're releasing the crossbow guys on their own. Um,
Yeah, the Huntsman, or I don't remember what they're called. Them and the Hobgrots.
the Hobgrots, yeah, because they're not really in. Yeah, because so you don't have to get because right now you can only get them via the starter sets.
Mm-hmm.
But
And they
but
look so
yeah,
much more sleeker. I know we've commented on this before, but damn, Stormcast looking thin,
fucking thin,
not
dude. This
not chonky anymore.
the Lord Commander guy is so cool. I kind of wanted to just grab him just to have him, put him on work test or something. That's a great model. Like, the pose is great, the weapon is mighty, he looks badass.
Yeah, he's ready to wreck some face right there.
Heck, yeah, he is.
He's just not
Yeah, that's a
standing on a
super.
rock. I don't know if I can call him a character.
No tactical rock.
No tactical rock. I don't know. I'm indifferent on that one. I don't really care too much about. I don't know, but there's something about the Knight Relector that I just like. I don't know what screams out to me. Maybe it's the black robe. But this is a
Yeah,
nice
the
looking model.
the black robe is pretty unique to him, so maybe it's that.
Maybe I got a thing for chaplains.
That's true.
But that's a cool model. I like that. Vanquishers. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've gone over all these models.
Yeah, Vanquishers are cool. Now, I do wonder if those arms fit on Primaris Marines for some more Black Templars, but I'm not sure if I want to get a kit just to see if that's a thing, because if it doesn't, well, we got a bunch of Stormcast here for no reason. I do like how it is a dual kit. So you can build, either the archers or the swordsmen or 5 and 5. I think that's pretty neat.
Well, they gotta rack up those dollars, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, this will probably be 50,
Probably
55.
60 bucks. Let me look at my sources. By sources, I mean like Bella
Well,
Lost Souls.
oh well, we get 10, so yeah, $60.
So what are you saying? Are you saying 50 or 60?
I'm saying 60. I thought you were
I'm
getting
saying
like
50.
five, but this is a 10 man.
They're 60 bucks. Yep.
Yay! I was right.
And the character guy is 40 bucks. That's pretty good for like a giant character.
The
The Lord Commander,
Lord
the Chapter
Commander.
Master.
Okay, steep, but at least he's got the detail to match.
Yes, yes, he does. And he's probably I'm sure he's like almost like I'm sure he's dreadnought size, like old dreadnought.
Uh really? That big? I don't
That
think
guy's
so.
yeah. Dreadnoughts are small. The box knots.
I'm maybe because I don't have one, or I haven't seen one in a long time, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I
sure
I
they're bigger.
no box knots are pretty tiny. Um, I thought they'd be bigger, but the models these days have just gotten way bigger. Um, I should get one just to like maybe I'll find like an old Black Reach one for like $5 on eBay. Because they're not that big.
Oh, well, I'll take your word for it. When you pick this,
Yeah.
when you get this guy, you can take a picture next to the box knot and let me.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just to show how mighty the new models are.
You see the Night Relector is gonna be they're $40.
Yeah, 40 bucks.
It's gonna say 35. I'm thinking old ways here.
Old ways. And also, he'll ideally you only get him once because he's a special character, so
It still doesn't justify the price tag. Moving on. It's got the Archer units, the dual kit, Praetors. Is this only a box of 3?
yeah. Because it's a unit of 3. I think it's the ones from the starter set. You could just get them separately.
Hmm. And are they I hate to say this, $40?
They are, let's see, they are 45 for 3.
45.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. Yep, but there you go. And
There we go.
Annihilators. Here's the chonky boys.
And these are crazy because these are 50 and they're a multi-kit with weapon options.
It's the multi kit. That's what gets you. That's the
That's a
extra
multi-kit.
$5.
Yeah.
If they weren't multi kit, they'd be 45. Or yeah, 45. Vindicators. Is it safe to say 50 on these ones?
Yep, 50 for 10, which is not bad. Man, these guys, you should probably just get the starter sets because they're in the starter sets.
Right. There's nothing new in the box. No like other options. Just
No, I think it's just the starter set ones. Looking at the poses, these look like the starter set ones.
makes sense, I guess. Look, see, here's the dragons right here. What are you talking about?
No, it says due December.
Oh,
Yeah, they're gonna be delayed, and the Facebook, the Facebook page confirmed that the Dragon Riders are also coming out in December. Some shipping issue or something, which has been happening to everyone.
well, I mean, we got the Congo line of ships outside our coast, so
Oh, for sure. For sure.
yes, you do December. If I just scroll down a little bit more, the man skewers. I'm gonna assume $45 for these.
They're 45. Yep, got that right.
It seems it seems three models will be $45, and if they're multi-kit, you add another $5.
Yep,
Seems to be the golden rule here. Hobgrots, I don't really know what to say. How many are you getting here? 20?
you're getting 20. Yeah,
Uh, $50?
yeah, they're 50. Mainly because they're like mono pose easy build, so that makes sense for us. That's actually not bad. That's pretty good for a swarm considering like 10 chain rasp are $50 for some reason. um, but yeah, you get having 20 for 50 is actually pretty good.
Oh, they're not as durable as chain rasps. Let's be real here.
That's true. Don't have
They're not
ethereal.
ghosts. All right, so that's all the AOS. So, as predicted, I guess AOS was this month. So we got the rest of Dominus and Harrowdeep. Not a not a big month for
Right.
GW here. It's
Did
quite.
you did you skip Lord of the Rings stuff?
No, I was just
Oh.
going over the AOS stuff really fast.
Yeah, yeah, just hard. Dude, Harrow Deep is expensive. My gosh, like it's like $95. The previous starter set was 75, and the regular starter set is like $50. Um,
How much was the Nighthaunt one? Dire Chasm?
that was like 65. No, that was like 60, 65.
Or what was it? Dire Chasm? I don't remember what the Nighthaunt one was. That's the one I got.
Night Vault, Night Vault.
Night Vault. There we go.
Yeah, that was like 60, 65, something like that.
Damn, that's expensive.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the US just gave up on like fighting the UK for their price, or what they wanted in price. But yeah,
So they're running wild here.
for real.
All right, well let's go on to Middle Earth here. Gotten Fall of the Necromancer. Book
That's
expansion.
cool. I mean, it's one of those things where like, you know what? Like this is neat. Again, like if you play Lord of the Rings, that's awesome. Like good for you. I mean, I have Lord of the Rings, I just haven't had time to like play it or
Well,
reason.
it's so rare to find someone to play the game, right?
Right. I mean,
Out
we could
of
play, but like if I'm ever free to play with you, I'd rather just play like 40K. You know what I mean?
all right. Well, I mean, now the thing is, this is probably their least popular game. If we went with the big three, I'm
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some specialist games have more player base than the Lord of the Rings game.
That's a good question. Lord of the Rings. It's like you said about Blood Bowl. Like people play Lord of the Rings because they keep making stuff for it. So, um,
Hey, I like Lord of the Rings.
yeah, me too.
I don't have a hatred for it like I do Blood Bowl, but even back when we had a GW in our mall and we could, play multiple games. I mean, there's like two core players that played Lord of the Rings at my store, and that was about it. I'm not
Right,
I'm not counting myself in that too. So altogether, there was three of us.
right.
It's just I don't. Well, I mean, it was a hard sell because a lot of their stuff was pewter, so
Right.
no one likes doing that pewter model stuff. And oh
And
my
it's
god,
better
those
now.
horses! I hated the horses.
Oh my gosh. And speaking of that though, like, if you look at the new Witch King model, which is up for pre-order, I'm picking him up because he's plastic. Straight up. You know, that is not a question.
I have the old one. The flare,
Me
the flail broke because
me too. I also have the old one. And yep, he is unpacked. He is in his blister pack though.
yeah, the
I remember like
flail
me and
was
Will bought a
too.
bunch of Lord of the Rings.
I liked it. I liked the system.
It's unique for sure.
It was it
Yeah.
was really grindy because I don't know how it is now. I only
It's the
remember it the
same.
first
It's
edition.
essentially the same.
Okay. I just like the, all right, you roll off for combat.
Yep.
Whoever has
That
the highest wins, and then you have an attempt to kill them. On like, since I played humans, basically, I basically needed sixes to kill anything.
yeah, because yeah, the game had no saves. People just had really high toughness, essentially.
Yeah.
So you would need sixes to win most things.
Yep. Unless you played something cheap like ghosts or
Or
Urkai
else.
or elves. Basically, if
Or
you played a
yeah,
human, you were screwed.
yeah. Yeah, no, this game is great. Like even in balance, as long as you don't something this game nails actually is it really nails Hero Hammer really well as a balance concept. Like once in a while, like like Games Workshop will pull tournament results for Lord of the Rings, or sometimes I'll go to because I'm part of some Facebook groups of this game, and there'll be some tournament rankings, and like you'll have a top three where like third place is like a balanced list between like with like Easterlings and like Kamul and like cavalry and archers and like some allies and and then second place is like the Fellowship, like 9 models. And then first place is like 60 orcs or something, and it's like that's pretty good balance if those are your top three of different kinds of armies. Like some guy won a tournament with like 9 ring rates, and that was kind of cool.
Hmm.
Um,
It's
also
always been fun.
Yeah, it's also a cheap board game in terms of the bang for your buck you get with those models. You can get a ton of models for pretty cheap.
I'm trying to remember. It might be different now, but wasn't like the maximum points you played was like 500 points or something like that?
Yeah. It's tournaments are either 500 or 750. But yeah, that's like 40 models, and that's the full game experience.
Yeah,
Obviously, if you play forward.
back in back in our old GW, one of the Lord of the Rings players that I played a lot with, we used to just play like as much as we could bring, pretty much, and just go all out war with that.
Oh, and it looks really cool.
I mean, we obviously set a point limit to what we had, but it was pretty. We pretty much played like 1,000 to 1,500 points. I mean, it was on a Sunday, so no one really came into the store to play games or anything. So it was great. It was a fun time. I think I'd always edge out a win because I had Sauron, and he
Right.
was a beast.
He's still a beast.
My whole army would be wiped, but Sauron he would hold the line, and I just banked on the fact that he'd fail morale, and that was it.
That's cool. I mean, honestly, like the game, I got back into the game when the new edition dropped, and it's essentially the same. The big things they changed were they reworked some spells, not spell casting, but what spells did. A
Willpower,
little
wasn't
bit,
it?
huh? Yeah, it's
Willpower,
it's,
right?
it's a willpower. Yeah, they just changed how um yeah, they just changed how like some spells work, like the strength of some spells, like and most of them are the same, like stuff like Chill Soul or like which is Sauron's spell or Black Dart, which is what the ring rates signature spells. It's essentially the same. Um heroic abilities were changed a lot. Which are, the command abilities in that game. And the biggest thing they changed though is how army building worked. So army building was completely restructured.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, essentially you have faction lists, and they limit what you could take. Like if you play like there's good and evil, right? Like if you play good, you have Minas Tirith, you have Rohan, you have Rangers of the North, you have Rivendell elves, you have Wood elves, and for evil, you have like Barad-dur, you have Mordor, General Mordor, you have Isengard, which are the Uruk-hai, you got Moria, which are the goblins, and you got Easterlings, you got Harad, and they added chapter tactics, which is I think was neat. Like if you play Harad, your archers get like a bonus with their poison or something. If you play Easterlings, you can like do a shield wall for your infantry, so if they're next to each other, they get a defense bonus, stuff like that. So that was the biggest change, and I think a welcome change. I think that was really cool. It wasn't very, if you already played the game, Like when you play Lord of the Rings now, it's like for you, Matt, like it's not gonna be very different. Essentially, just follow what Battlescribe says, and then you'll be good.
That's good because like I said, I like that edition of it. Lord of War was okay, but I wasn't really too keen on the whole formations. It was
Yeah,
basically fantasy, but Lord of the Rings.
yeah. A war. I think it's called War of the Ring, the one with the square bases or the square regiments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I wasn't too happy about that. And
yeah.
just to touch on something you said about the willpower, I ran Kamul because who doesn't want to have a ring wraith as a leader of the army.
Hmm.
I never casted any spells with him.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, because his health points was tied to his willpower. So if he ran out of willpower, he was dead.
Yes, yes. Same thing. It's also still how it works.
I hate that.
But their spells are so good though. I got like Black Dart or like Transfix where they have have weapon skill 1 or something. That's super good. But yeah, you gotta balance it out because if you use will points, then he could die.
Yeah, it was
So,
always a risk.
yeah,
So I never utilized him properly, but it's
yeah.
still cool to have.
That game's the same. They added some more gear too here. Like they gave the Witch King like an upgrade. Like if you his crown is an upgrade now, it gives him extra attacks. Kamul, I think they changed some stats a bit. I think Kamul has more attacks in close combat now. Um,
They still have all the named ring wraiths, or the
oh heck yeah,
okay,
the ones they invented.
yeah, like the plague wraith and something like that.
Yeah, they do. I have all of those guys. Man, I went ham. Me and Will went ham on this game, which going ham on this game is like buying half a 40K army if you want everything, because this game is stupid cheap compared to 40K. Um,
It's,
but Aragorn's still OP. Elves are still freaking OP in this game, like always.
but yeah, I hated fighting elves. I hated fighting elves, and I hated. No, I think I just hated fighting elves the most.
Yeah, because Uruk-hai aren't too bad. I mean, they have one more weapon skill than you, which isn't terrible. But elves have like two extra weapon skill, and this is a game where most everything has like the same weapon skill, and elven heroes were just like Elrond is just broken.
Yep, I remember fighting Elrond a lot.
Man, I
But
want to watch the movies and like get hyped in this game. Also, there's like the freaking Hobbit stuff. Like, say what you want about the Hobbit as movies. They have some cool units and set pieces. Kind of like Star Wars, like whatever with the sequels, but there's cool units there for your wargaming. Um, but
well, they got that. I don't remember who's doing it, but they got that
the
series
Amazon show.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So I don't know if GW will get licensing deals with them or not, but if they do, that'll be
Mm,
more stuff they can add.
there you go. There you go.
Uh, but yeah, I think that's it for the Lord of the Rings. So nope, we got ruins. So more terrain.
Terrain. So actually, it's really cool terrain.
That looks nice. The thing I would expect for AOS.
Right.
What else we got? Dice. The
These are
the
sick.
the what are they called? Dolgul Goldar.
Old Goldor,
Sorry, I don't know my
Lord of the Rings.
tokenism as well. Those dice look nice. The Agmar, I hate those dice. Those dice look ugly, hard to read.
Oh, right, right.
I would never buy those or allow those on the table.
The white one, white and black one.
Yeah,
Yeah, those are kind of hard to read.
the other one's fine. The black and green ghostly, that looks sick.
I don't want them, man. The thing is though, like they're in packs of 8, so I need to buy 3 of them if I want to set up 20. But I just can't have 8. If I do get them, maybe I'll just like use them as
That's
wound
so
dice or something. Victory points. I don't know.
that's such
Command points.
a weird number. 8.
Yeah. It's the same for Aeronautica. The Aeronautica dice are like packs of 8 for some reason.
Yeah, but that makes, well, I guess it's been a while since I played, but I guess you don't. Is it still like everyone's an independent character kind of
Yep,
deal?
that part's the same. Like mechanically, the game is exactly the same. It's just against army building and command abilities
Yeah.
are the big
So I
changes.
mean, my army, if you line your army up right enough, I mean, you get three guys in a combat. So
Right. So you're rolling three dice at once.
so you don't need too many dice for this game,
That's true.
unless you're Sauron and you're circled, and then you could just sweep attack.
Oh, you just do sweep attack. I have some Sauron dice actually from last time. Man, I want to pick up these dice. These green dice are so cool.
They're nice looking. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see the price tag
That's true.
because I can't justify GW dice.
I have Easterlings, right? I have my Gondor fully painted. Damn, I'm tempted now.
I have my Easterlings fully painted, so
Oh my gosh.
I just have to find them.
Should do
Except
some
for one
game.
model, I call him unpainted because he's lucky. I don't know why, but he's lucky.
The lucky painted model or unpainted model.
The one unpainted model.
Dude, they might release new East. That's the thing about this game is like they just released a Witch King model. Like who knows? Maybe they'll release a plastic Kamul or something. Who knows?
I know
Would be
when
awesome.
RGW stopped um closed down. I mean, that's when a bunch of Easterling stuff was getting made. So that was kind of unfortunate.
Oh yeah, the heavy cavalry that just came out.
Oh, they got like some kind of dragon guard unit or something like that.
The Dragon Knights
Yeah, the Dragon Knights. So it's a bunch of cool looking models, and it's like, damn, the one place where I could play this game and it's gone.
is gone.
Unfortunate. But we can move on. So, Forge World, Blood Bowl. Uh,
These are cool. Like this is actually a cool model for AOS because it doesn't look like it obviously plays football. The Skaven, I mean, the werewolf is weird.
yeah, the werewolf. I can care less for. The rat ogre is you can get away with that.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much anything Skaven, I'm pretty sure you can get away with putting in your army.
Oh yeah.
But I don't really care too much about Blood Bowl. So Adeptus Titanicus. Uh,
Unite. He's neat. I mean,
this is a new knight. I mean, he looks new.
well, he there's a Forge World there's a 40k model of him, but it's a super rare knight. Like no one really runs it because one, it's Forge World. And yeah, mainly because it's a Forge World model. But I mean, yeah, that's cool that he's in the game. I mean, not complaining.
Is he gonna like change the game at all, or is he just
I don't think so. I will say that he's a variant of what's called the Porphyrion, and that model was OP. Like that was legitimately the only OP model Titanic has ever had, just because of how it worked. How he had like four super last cannons. And how that game works is if you have a blast weapon and the center hull hits, then you make double the wound rolls, so you make two wound rolls. And this guy would and the Porphyrion was just like a battery of last cannon, so you would just like bring six and just delete warlords, which to be fair they would do that in the lore because they're just dedicated anti super heavy titans.
right?
But it was kind of lame, so they changed it where you can only bring like three per army or something, because people would spam them. Hopefully, this guy isn't that game changing because that would suck. I actually have those knights, the Porphyrions. I need to finish painting my AT. I keep that's the one thing I shouldn't just finish. I'm one model away from having a fully painted maniple. I mean, technically I'm already fully painted. I just, it's the equivalent of like I
But the
have a fully painted
collection will be fully painted.
exactly because right now I have the equivalent of like 2,500 points fully painted. I'm in like one model away from being like 3K, you know?
Right.
Um it's so close.
Don't
I'm
worry.
not counting the knights though.
Don't worry. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Pins. Okay.
All right. I mean, that's neat.
I don't.
Not
I don't
complaining.
really care for pins because I'll probably either lose it or Yeah, I'll probably just lose it. It's like with all the little collectible coins I have. I have them. I just don't know where I put them. They're just somewhere around my house, and that's what these pins would be. So if you're a pin collector, here you go. Official GW pins. Uh, Nice Calgar comic, not hardback. But we're getting another calendar. Comic. Looks like.
I think it's a compilation of. I'm actually gonna pick this up because this is what I was waiting for with these comics. Is I wanted them because I don't like having comics individually. I like them when they're like
An omnibus.
exactly that's what I'm looking for, an omnibus. Thank you, Matt. An omnibus.
I agree. I like that too. I don't like to have all over the place.
Yeah.
But you're
Um.
missing out on that collector's value. You know that first issue, if you keep it in pristine condition, could be worth thousands.
Could be, but it's a Warhammer comic.
True.
Well, actually, it actually doesn't help my case. That's probably gonna. I mean, it's yeah,
It
yeah,
could.
yeah, yeah. It could.
But I mean, let's be real here. The comics industry is not doing too hot. If you
Right.
want to talk about underperforming, look no further than our mainstream comic books.
Right. Very, very true.
But yep, that's coming. We got a Space Marine Chibi Advent Calendar.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, okay, cool. You know, like all right.
It's definitely weird, but I guess if you want to do an advent calendar with Space Marines, here you go. You got 24 figures, 24 Space Marine chapters in there, all chibified.
Right. Like, oh, okay, cool.
And I really don't know how to feel about this one. This one completely blindsided me when I saw it this morning. I was like, what? Who asked for this?
Um, I mean, someone's gonna buy it. I'm sure.
Well, yeah, the dedicated Space Marine player slash GW loyalist will definitely pick this up in a heartbeat.
Of course.
It's just weird. I really don't know what to say about it, other than I won't be picking it up. I'll spend my money on something else. But
Same.
thank you,
Rather buy models,
thank
actual models.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Bandai and G Dubs, I guess.
All right. I mean,
Moving on, Black Library, The Accursed book is coming out. Is this the horror anthology? No, this is Night Haunt or not Night Haunt. Vampires.
no, it's just horror stories. I'm sure there's gonna be vampires in there. I mean, vampires are classic horror thing. So
Oh, see, I just saw their logo at the top, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is just a vampire book.
yeah.
But oops, now I see a
I mean,
collection
once
of
again,
Warhammer stories.
yay. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Like
it's whatever.
it's whatever. I mean, all right, all right.
We got Priest of Mars coming to audio. I don't care too much for this one because I'm not too big into all the things.
If it's Jonathan Keeble, then I might. 'Cause I just finished Warhawk, which we could chat about if you want me to give my 2 cents on that.
Let's finish up the rest of the Black Library, and we'll get
Okay.
your opinions on that.
All right, all right.
Kane's Last Stand coming to audio. Good, so I can finally start getting the Gaunt's Ghost series going.
If this is Jonathan Keeble, I would love. Because I actually have not read a Caiaphas Kane book, and everyone says it's awesome. So
Oh god, that's Caiaphas Kane. I don't know why I got that mixed up with Gaunt's Ghost.
all commissars look the same, man. Come on, it's okay.
I've only read, or I've only listened to the first one. I don't know if it'll be like the other ones,
Oh, is
but
there an available audiobook for this one? For
for the first one,
for Kane?
Cyphus game, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. The first one has uh two voice actors in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, you have a female Inquisitor, pretty much going over the story of Caiaphas Cain, and then you got the guy who does Caiaphas Cain and pretty much all the other voices.
I see, I see. Interesting. What's the first book called? Do you know?
I can pull it up for you right now because I have it in my collection. So,
I should start reading these.
uh, I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. I didn't think I would like a comedy, but it was pretty good. So probably not a good thing to
Yeah.
binge. Like all the series, but
Right,
it was
right.
still good. I had a great time with it.
Oh, Hero is it Hero of the Imperium?
Probably.
Okay.
I unfortunately got kicked out, so I gotta relog back in. But yeah, I would uh I would recommend the first book at least.
Okay, okay.
I haven't started the other ones yet. But other than that, we got the Warhammer Plus.
Eldar.
Eldar, that was the that was the one that had my interest the most when they first released all the trailers. That was the one that caught my eye because I'm an Eldar boy, so I want to see my Eldar kick ass and not be boring. Yeah, that's all I want. I just don't want them to be boring because
Right.
every book I've read, they are
Totally
so
understand.
boring.
Totally understandable.
The only one I give a pass to is the Jane Czar one, but that teeters on pretty boring.
Maybe maybe we'll have a watch party so you could watch it together. You don't have to subscribe.
I'll, I'll be down for that. We could discuss it off screen. We don't want to get in trouble for anything.
Yeah,
Um,
man, just come over. We could watch it on my TV, like normal
true,
people.
true, very true. But yeah, and then we're getting white armor, which I'm not gonna lie, I need that video.
Do you need that video?
I need that video. I need to paint white armor good.
Stormtroopers? Do you just like prime it gray sear or white and just apothecary white and just dry brush it?
Yeah, it just doesn't look too good, but
That's fair. Yeah, if you want to make white look really good, yeah, that's kind of hard. I like white. So white to tabletop quality white that looks not the cleanest is really easy. But yeah, clean, good looking white, that's really hard.
I have no doubt it is a monster to do. But that's Sunday preview done. You wanted to discuss Warhawk?
Yeah, because I just it's a Horus Heresy novel. I just finished it. Um, it's really good. I think it's my favorite Siege of Terra book so far, which I have no doubt ADB will dethrone that. But right now, it's damn good.
That's the one
Um,
with White Scars versus Death Guard, right?
yeah. Um, lots of important things happen in that book. I wanted to spoil it and be like, hey, listen, do you care if I spoil it for you?
I don't care.
All right. Spoiling war well, non-spoiler parts first. Yeah, it's just, essentially it's that part where the White Scars try to take the Lionsgate spaceport, which is from the Codex lore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what can I say? It's not spoilery. It's really cool. Good characters. Lots of new characters. Well, lots of good new characters, not just like random new characters. Sigismund is a beast in that book. I mean, for everyone who's read The Emperor's Champion, entry on the codexes and how it's like, oh, this Emperor's champion comes from Sigismund because the Siege of Terra, he duels the he duels the Chaos Marine champions. That's essentially what he does in this book, and it's super sick. Um,
Gets
but
me hyped.
yeah, it's pretty hype, and it's also pretty standalone. Like the stuff that happens there, if you have a general idea of what the Siege of Terra is, you could kind of jump into it. The gosh, what's that? The perpetual parts you need to have read the other stuff, but like just the general battle, like you could just if you have a general idea of how the siege and the Horus Heresy are going, then yeah, you could just jump into it if you just want to read that one because it is excellent, to be honest. Now for the spoiler part, so if you don't get spoiled, just skip ahead.
I'll put
Um,
something up.
Spoiling in 3, 2, 1. All right. So for Cast Marine players, all you guys know that Karn, the betrayer, something important that happens to him is that he dies in the Siege of Terra, and Karn brings him back to life. So this is where Karn dies, and Sigismund kills him, and it is like the best duel I've ever read in Black Library, to be completely honest. Like it's actually from Karn's point of view, and he talks about how Karn it's an interesting comparison between Karn and Sigismund as fighters because leaders of the Horus Heresy would know that they used to be buddies when Sigismund was training with the World Eaters as part of like the Legion exchange program. Um so Karn is talking about how like Sigismund is such like he's just a weapon now. Like he's no like Karn even kind of feels bad for him and kind of feels bad for the galaxy because if you look at 40k, Space Marines in 40k are very fanatical compared to 30k. In 30k, they're more individualistic, and that's how they fall right during the heresy because there's a lot of individualism going on with the legions. But how in 40k they're just basically fanatical super soldiers, and Karn and Sigismund is kind of the first representation of that. How in the Siege of Terra he's just hyper focused. He's not like screaming for the Emperor. He's just like the whole duel with Karn. Karn is upset that Sigismund doesn't say anything. That Sigismund is just focusing and after that scene, like Sigismund talks about how like wow that was a really hard fight, but during the duel, from Karn's point of view, he's just like wow he's like a machine. He's just you know swinging the black sword, parrying every blow, and eventually he beats Karn, and Karn is just like, wow, like if this is the future of the Imperium, I am terrified for the galaxy. He has this vision of 40k Space Marines of just like this fanatical super soldiers with no personality. Well, I mean, we know they have personalities, but like they're just very like they're just distilled compared to 30k how they're just more of just living weapons as opposed to like humans which they are in the heresy and it's really interesting to see it from Karn's point of view that he even feels remorse at like well like we used to be friends but now it's just more than just an enemies thing. It's how like yeah like you're just a weapon, like you're not even a person anymore.
The
um
Sigmundson I knew is dead. Now
Essentially,
is
yeah.
just a tool.
Essentially. And he connects that to the Imperium, how the Imperium I knew was dead. Now it's just like I mean it's kind of their fault because the traitors, caused the heresy, but yeah,
Yeah,
so
just that little detail that kind of screwed everyone over.
right, it's a small thing. But that was an awesome scene. And fans that was one of the fan theories for the longest time is that because we know Karn dies in the Siege of Terra ever since third edition Chaos Space Marines, we know that. Um But the fan theory is, oh, what it'd be cool if Sigismund kills him because Karn is a super unbeatable fighter, but so is Sigismund. So confirming that, it's kind of fan service. It's not even fan. It feels like fan service, but it they tie it in really well, and it's super cool. Um, Another big spoiler actually is that
Well,
the
before you get to
con.
that big spoiler,
Oh, what's up?
I have a question about Karn's death.
Yes.
How was it? Like, did he get decapitated or was he just like stabbed and that's
So he
that?
describes how like Sigismund finally breaks through his defenses and like stabs him in the chest, like cuts his arm off. He cuts his neck a bit, so he's bleeding, and eventually like it's so cool. Like the final, so it's like the narration Karn's like, the last thing he saw, at least on this world, which kind of, hint that he comes back to life, which he does. It's like the last thing he saw on this, the last thing he saw, at least on this world, was the image of the Black Templars standing in front of him. And I'm like, holy crap, they like name drop Black Templars in Siege of Terra. Super hype, especially right now that, we have all these Black Templar models. And then Sigismund just stabs him finally while he's on the ground.
So it was a brutal killing.
Oh, it is brutal, yeah. And afterwards, there's Sigismund's like, wow, that's a really hard fight. Like, but during the fight, he's just quiet, he's stoic, he's just super focused, just like a living weapon. Um,
Oh,
man,
that's how it was
that part's
in
so cool.
Talon of Horus.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um,
All right, so what's this other big spoiler?
the bigger spoiler is the Khan dies.
The Khan dies.
So he fights Actually, another super cool duel is the Khan versus Mortarion. Um, Long story short, I don't want to drag it on, but long story short, he pulls like a Muhammad Ali, and he kind of just takes a beating from Mortarion because he knows like Mortarion's a demon Primarch, that he can't really beat him. So he just stands his ground, and like for like the longest time, Mortarion's like, how the heck is he not dead yet? Like he's bleeding, he's like coughing, blood, like his armor is like falling in pieces. And eventually the Khan's like, I he essentially says like I'm more resilient than you. He tells Mortarna like, like, yeah, you talk about all the suffering you had when you got the plague and turned to a demon, but like, like I withstood everything you gave at me, and I'm still here. Like I'm stronger than you, and that just pisses Mortarion off. And eventually, like, they fight. True, it's a great scene when you read it, but they fight, and then eventually, um, the Khan he pulls a Sigismund in Black Legion, where he stops trying. He goes for the killing blow, but um neglects his own defenses. So he goes in. Mortarion stabs him like through the chest, and then he cuts Mortarion's neck, which banishes him from the Siege of Terra. So essentially, Mortarion is dead, quote unquote, at this point, because he's banished. So he doesn't come back until way later. So he's out of the picture. Um, but the Khan dies. Now, interestingly, the last kind of, so that's like the climax of the ending, and the following action is the White Scars find him, and the White Scars, the command, one of their human aides, which is like one of the Khan's friends. This is female Imperial Army officer. She kind of senses that he's still alive. So, but he's clearly dead. So they bring the Khan to Malkador, and then the last scene is there. She's waiting out. Her and like some of the White Scars captains are waiting outside the operating room, and they just hear like all these mechanical whirls going on. And that's where the book ends. Well, actually, no, that's the second to last scene. The final scene is the White Scars who capture the spaceport, realizing that like, yeah, we captured the spaceport, but we can't leave. Like we're trapped here. We're gonna hold this. When Gilliman comes, he has his place to land, but they say they don't have a place to land. Or sorry, they don't have the resources or manpower to come back and help defend the walls. So it's up to the Fist and the Blood Angels to defend the final set of walls for the Imperial Palace. But yeah, the Khan is, he dies, and the last we see of him is he's being operated on by Malkador and Malkador's like aides. So crazy scene. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah, you're saying so much that I'm actually getting hyped. I kind of want to read this book.
Dude, you should read it. It's freaking cool. There's some really cool parts in it. There's some really cool Death Guard stuff. Um,
Yeah, no, who cares about Death Guard? All right, got Sigmason. That's all I need.
to hype even more. So at this point, Sigismund and the First Company have no yellow left in their armor. They're all just black. So they're literally like Black Templars, which is super sick. No, you should read it. It's awesome.
I'll definitely give it a look.
Yeah.
Well, that
Just skip
was
skip skip the perpetual parts. No one cares. Erebus shows up for a bit. It was kind of cool.
Everyone hates Erebus.
Right, right, but reminding us to hate him, I think is a good play by the author.
I hope so. I don't know. I don't know anyone who likes him. All the memes hate him too.
One of
So
my friends likes him, one of our 30K people. I think he likes him just because he's a meme. He's like, yeah, Erebus is awesome, man. If it wasn't from Erebus, we wouldn't be playing 40K right now. Which is true. Erebus cost 40K. Erebus is the reason why we have Primaris Marines.
true. It's all his fault. This is why no one likes him.
Right. Oh man. But yes, Warhawk. Spoilers over. Excellent book. Would recommend.
All right then. Well, we still got one more 40k news to go through.
All right.
That's how small this news cycle was. There's only 3 things to talk about. We just talked about Warhawk.
Right.
New model Monday. Didn't expect to see this. We got a new Warcry figure.
Yeah.
So here we go. Finally, Red Harvest showing off a model. I'm gonna play the video really fast on there. That. So yeah, I'm excited because it's new.
Yeah, I think he's cool. This is a good example, I think, of something that should not be an army. Because if this was an army, he would piss off the goblin players who already have spiders. But having like a chaos spider thing just for a warband, I think that's cool.
I'm sure the Goblin players would still be pissed off.
Oh, they're already annoyed. I mean, but at least it's like just a war cry warband. As far as we know, they could be. I could be wrong. It could be an army, but whatever.
Yeah,
I would enjoy it.
I'm looking at this guy here, and I kind of like it. I think I might this character alone, I might pick up the Warcry band,
Yeah,
assuming it doesn't come out this year.
it might. The
Well, then I can't buy it because that goes against my rule.
Well, the two-player box will come out this year. Maybe the individual release will come next year. I'm sure.
Well, I was surprised with uh Catacombs, how fast the two armies came out
Yeah, that
after
was a
the
quick
box.
turnaround. Yeah, you're right.
That was like a month.
Yeah, it was like a month, and then the stuff came out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see these guys coming out at least November, maybe December, as part of the Christmas release. So, um,
No,
yeah,
December's packed. I don't see Warcry being in December.
yeah. I mean, December has all those army bundles.
When did Catacombs come out? That came out in January or February?
Yeah, it was something early. Yeah, it was like yeah, January, February of last year.
Yeah, that's when I figured it'll be released because honestly, October was the month to start releasing a bunch of AOS or specialist games because they didn't have anything clearly. And when I say that, I'm talking about 40k wise because November is Black Templar, which obviously they don't have anything for Black Templar except for the ones that they haven't released with their pre-order set yet.
Right.
But if you got the box, you got everything you need for Black Templars except for the updated models. There's really no hype or nothing new coming out in November. So
Right. It could be Warcry. Yeah, that's true.
it would make the most sense, but we'll have to wait and see if they release any more models for this game because otherwise I'm gonna call it and say January is when this 2-player box set's gonna come out.
I think it's going to be November because I think they're committed to releasing things this year that they have announced. Um, but that's the only reason. I mean, they could be delayed, right? So just realistically, it could be January.
If it's November, I'll be happy. I'll be sad because I can't buy it, but I'll be happy because that's just something I can look forward to. But I don't see it. I don't see it in November. I think it's gonna be something AOS related, AOS mainstream, and not like a Warcry band or anything like that. Because AOS is lacking in their what do they call their books? Tomes.
Altums, yeah, they were actually gonna. I remember them on stream when those favorite streams we all love. They said that they were going to release a Chaos Codex before the end of the year around October, but not a fall actually said fall and nothing. So
So I would assume November then.
definitely delayed.
Um. So yeah, that'll be a safe assumption. So November chaos, I guess. Something we forgot to mention. Last stream or not stream. Sorry, last video. Um. That with the anniversary models, there is going to be a stream that's going to be happening at the end of the month.
Yeah, on the 30th, right?
Yeah.
Should be fun. That should be
So
very fun.
I guess that's when we'll see more of the Warcry stuff
Mhm.
and whatever they got planned for November.
I don't know what they would even show like the stuff next year. I guess. Oh, I
No,
hope you know it's
well,
30K, but
I'm trying to think. What's the next biggest thing? Is it LVO? Is that the next big
it is
thing?
LVO. Oh, there's the codexes for December, the 40K ones, the Custodies and Gene Stealers.
Right. Which people are not going to be happy about, but what
Wait,
can you
why?
do?
Because it's not their codex.
Uh, I mean, the Custody Gene Stealer players will be happy, but all the other major armies will not be happy about it,
Right.
right? I mean, because that's they're getting the Grey Knight Thousand Sun treatment because they're small
Right.
codexes. You can just here's another HQ choice for you guys.
Right.
Go crazy. They want they want their craft world and chaos, and I mean, again, if the leaks are true, we already know the order and stuff that's coming out. So, but that's probably all gonna be LVO stuff. I would assume all the
Yeah, like Chaos Marines.
chaos and Eldar. It's gonna be one of those two that gets announced.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, but final thoughts on this Warcry? I'm happy. Looks cool. I'll have to wait until I see the rest of the models in this war band, but the leader, if this is the leader, very cool.
I hope it's not the leader, which means we can see an even crazier leader. More
A more spider leader,
spirally.
like a
Because like the Raven people, like their leader wasn't the one that looked like a Raven with the cosplay wings. The leader was like the girl who had a raven on her hand. So yeah, maybe we'll see something crazier. That'll be cool.
maybe. Oh, been going on for an hour now, so I think we can wrap it up to hobby rants.
Yeah.
Let's start with you. Let's start with you for a while. How's everything going?
Good. No gaming this week. Been busy, but I finished 10 more Orc Boys. Finished my Storm Boys and then 10 more Orc Boys. So I got the paints I need for my Black Templars, and the box should be coming Wednesday, I think, unless I checked. So pretty hyped for that,
Nice.
and getting ready to repaint my Dark Angels. So that's gonna be exciting.
Paint them black.
Paint them black. They're already black.
Yeah. Well, I did get my box surprisingly
Oh, nice.
because I'm a nice guy and I don't like to see my GWs closed. I did order it in the GW store and had it mailed there, which was probably a mistake. I probably should just had it mailed to my house, but whatever. Um, he did have it for me. I did get it on Saturday.
Nice.
I've only looked at the book. I haven't attempted to build any models yet, so I'll be hyped to get a game in this week with them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, just don't know my rules too well. Just get those bad boys on the table and see what we can do.
So 5-up invul. Just do that. Just give them 5-up invul. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. That's all I need.
Play them as you did, not with the 5-up invul.
Exactly. Just go on, crazy melee. Run up the board and purge everything. Friend, foe, doesn't matter. It's all in the name of the emperor.
Hey, there you go. For the emperor.
But yeah, I didn't get any gaming in this week because I too had some things come up on our game day. So none of that. No hobbying because I was too busy playing Dark Souls 2.
Fair. Fair reason.
You know, I don't like I like painting, but I don't like painting that much. But I like, how much do I really hate myself? I'll play some Dark Souls. There you go. That'll make me feel better. So I did that.
Clearly.
Procrastinating as my progress gets closer and closer to the deadline.
There you go.
I'll get it done. Don't worry, guys. I will send updates pictures. Next video. We'll look at my progress and how much work it actually takes me to do this crap. But other than that,
Actually, one thing I did forget. I've been playing X-Wing recently.
oh
So
yeah,
I did get some X-Wing the past 2 weeks. I go to this local hobby store, in Burbank, and yeah, just go to their X-Wing nights. And it's fun. Like no hobby required. So literally just had to like open my boxes and like just go right ahead and playing. So that was fun.
how is it over there?
It's chill. It's not that big, which I like. Everyone's chill. Like they're not hyper competitive or like they gotta make no mistakes. Blah blah blah. They're like casual. So super fun. I mean, I really like X-Wing. It's mechanically really good and no hobby required. So win-win for me. As much as I
True.
love hobbying, sometimes I just don't want to.
And man, I look at my pile of shame and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that right now.
Yeah.
And I'm
There's
like,
other games I want to play, but I gotta paint. I gotta add to the pile of shame, like you say.
you just gotta get rid of it. You just gotta get rid of that pile of shame, and trust me, your life will feel so much better once it starts dwindling.
Mhm.
And then you're like, I need to buy more stuff. And then you add
Oh
it to
yeah,
that pile of shame, and you're like, why did I do this? Why
it's
do I
funny.
hate myself?
Like my buddy Donnie, he's almost done painting his terrain, and he's like, "Oh man, I should reward myself with a 3D printer when I finish this FDM printer to print more terrain." I'm like, "Wait, so you're finishing your backlog and rewarding yourself by adding to your backlog?"
It's it's the weird thing in our hobby brains where we're like, wow, I'm almost done with this thing that I don't really like doing, but I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna add more stuff to this pile just so it never ends. Or like that Greek tragedy, we push the
Sisyphus. Yep.
yeah
Rock.
we stroke the paintbrush across the models, and yet 10 more models appear out of nowhere.
The
That's,
eternal war continues.
yeah, if our lifespan was tied to completing our models, we'd be eternal.
Would not have it any other way.
It's a job never done. But on that note, I think we can call it, shall we?
Yeah.
I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end, and we'll catch you all next week. Till then,
Let everyone.
goodbye.